What is the foundation of all business communication? In this video, I will share the answer to that question. Here we go. When I think of Business Communication 101, I think of foundational thoughts, principles, and ideas. I've created a catalog of business communication training for you on this channel. In this playlist alone, I have over 20 videos on the topic of business communication. If you've not subscribed to this channel yet, I encourage you to do so now. Communication is vital in your career advancement and your ability to influence others. Whether you're trying to sell a service, share an opinion, or spread your organization's vision, influence is the key to do it successfully. And to do that, you have to know how to communicate. So we know that business communication skills are critical. I've shared tips and tricks and definitions for business communication, and I'm not saying that I've shared everything, but I do know I have not shared what I'm going to share with you today. The foundation or the original thought and attitude that precedes good communication skills is what I would consider the 101 of business communication. Now, I'm not talking about a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. I know that's out there. I believe this distinction is vital in all personal growth, but you must have a particular motivation for communication. This attitude that I will share with you cannot be taught in a classroom. It cannot be transferred from one person to another. If I could transfer this attitude to others, I would be the richest man on the planet in less than 1 year. I guarantee it. No one in the history of the world has ever been able to give this attitude or this motivation to anyone. Now, there's a saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Now, the same thing is true when it comes to communication. As a professional trainer, I work with all kinds of different people in various industries, and without fail, when I lead a training, there will be someone resistant to the training. For whatever reason, they may have a fixed mindset, they may be stressed out and cannot seem to disconnect from work, or they may just see no value in learning how to communicate better. Maybe they're the type of person that says, hey, if everybody just communicated like me, then everything would work out better, right? Well, I also encounter folks who love the trainings that I do. They love the training aspect, they love the classroom time, they love interacting, but they don't have the self-discipline or the proper motivation to take what they learned in the classroom and really put it into practice so they can get true results. Then there are some that they excel in every aspect of life. They steadily move ahead of their peers and achieve great success. Those folks have the key to all learning, but especially the key to developing business communication skills. The key cannot be taught and cannot be transferred or given. Like I mentioned before, the key or foundational 101 concept to business communication is this: it's desire. If you have any hope of becoming an excellent communicator, you must desire. Let me share a story with you. I was 20 years old and knew everything. Maybe you can relate. Crazy Dave, who I worked with, was 50 years old and he knew nothing, right? We were on the job site in a local elementary school in the summer of 2003. I had been a plumber's apprentice for a year and I already knew everything there was to know about plumbing. Yeah, right. On this day, Crazy Dave, who he received his nickname for being a little on the passionate side, asked me to look for a specific fitting in our job box. In this case, a fitting was a small piece of copper tubing that we needed to run a water line. He was unsure if we had the fitting, but he wanted me to look anyway. Now, Dave could probably see that I was not very enthusiastic about looking through a large metal box filled with heavy tools, tool bags, hardware, and all kinds of other junk for a 15-cent piece of metal that we could go to the store and get very easily. But I walked down the elementary school's long, silent hallway to the room where we were keeping all our supplies. I opened the box and I, nonchalantly pushed aside a few nuts and bolts, and then I pushed aside a few of the heavy boxes and bags and kind of, peeked around them to see if I could see a glimmer of copper in the bottom of the box, and I couldn't see anything. I wasn't planning on seeing anything. I fully intended to report to Dave that he should call our boss and tell him to bring us the part we needed from the store. I shut the box and made my way back to Dave. I reported to him that we did not have the part and that he really needed to call the boss and have him pick one up at the store, bring it over to us. Crazy Dave looked at me. With fire in his eyes, he began to march his 5-foot-tall, stocky frame down the long hallway. He motioned to me with one wave of the arm, "Follow me." I followed behind him like a toddler that was in trouble with his parents. We got down to the room and I received a front row seat to why Crazy Dave received his nickname. Dave threw open the lid of our large metal job box. He reached in and began to throw 40 and 50-pound bags of tools and massive heavy-duty power tool boxes. I felt like I was in a cartoon where the character, kind of throws everything out of the toy chest into the air behind them. It just seemed to, like he just kept pulling stuff out of the box and throwing it behind him. I was dodging, right, as these things are landing. He pushed aside nuts and bolts and screws as they went flying across the room. I just stood back, holding my breath, hoping that he wouldn't find that small copper fitting that I had confidently declared was not in the box. Once all the throwing was done, Dave reached down into the box, and you know what he did. He pulled out the small piece of copper tubing that I was supposed to find. He held it up to my face, and he said to me 6 words that I will never forget. He said, "You gotta have a want to." Now, Dave taught me something about life that day. He taught me that you've got to want to get the job done if you're ever going to have any chance of getting it done. Often what separates those that excel and those that get by is the desire to get the job done. In life and communication, everything will not go the way you want it to go. Organizational charts and roles, responsibilities will not be perfect or even functional at times. And if you're a low performer, you will sit back and say, if they communicated to me better, I could get the job done. Or if everyone communicated like me, things would work out much smoother around here. The fact of the matter is, excellent communicators work to communicate despite the conditions. An excellent communicator leverages their influence and helps the other team members understand why it is in their best interest to move forward in the organization's direction. You can only do this if you have a want to. So I ask you today, do you have a want to? Do you have a want to? Do you have a desire to learn, grow, and develop your business communication skills? I mentioned a saying earlier, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. Now, this is to say that you can present a person with an opportunity, but you cannot make them take advantage of it. I've presented you with a wonderful opportunity. 20 videos, free content, communication videos where you can increase your communication skills. People pay me to come into their organization and teach them this stuff. I'm giving it to you for free on YouTube. But I can't make you drink. But some people have a follow-up to that saying. They say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And others say, but you can salt their oats. And that's to say that you can take action that will increase a person's chances of being thirsty. And in this case, you can take action in your own life that will lead to an increase in motivation, that will increase the chances that you will desire to learn about business communication and apply yourself to learn a new skill set. Now, there's a few motivations that seem to work. There's always fear, right? I've coached many clients that have had an ultimatum in front of them. Learn communication skills, or you won't work for this organization any longer. Or learn communication skills, or you will not advance in this company. While fear is a significant motivator for many, I prefer a more aspirational motivation. How about purpose and potential? What if learning business communication skills is the gap from where you are to where you want to be? Now, if you don't know where you want to be, that's the first step. Discover your purpose, define your goals, and discipline yourself to do whatever it takes to achieve your goals. And if you do that, you will never run out of the motivation necessary to learn business communication skills. Now, I have a video. There's a link in the top right corner that you can click on that will help you define your purpose if you've not done that yet. Well, thank you so much for listening to this video. And once again, if you like the video, smash that like button. And if you have not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to my channel so that you will be notified when I have new content coming out on the topic of influence. Listen for a few more moments. I have a free giveaway for you.
If you found value from this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. To receive the free influence assessment, simply click on the link below that says Influence Assessment. If you have any questions or comments about influence, please comment below and I will look forward to connecting with you. Always remember, increase your influence, realize your dream.